Good morning from Branson, Missouri. We're going to make biscuits this morning, and I have made up a batch, and I have my chief biscuit taster here with me this morning, and he's going to take a bite of these and tell us what he thinks.
Now that is good.
Okay, hubby.
I've got work to do.
All righty. Thanks for stopping by. My hubby really likes biscuits too. But we're going to make a very simple way to make biscuits this morning. If you think you've never been able to make biscuits, well, you're wrong. Because we start out with self-rising flour. There are many brands in the grocery store that you can get. This is just one of them. Now, what I like to do to my self-rising flour is add a little more baking powder. And I like to use the aluminum-free baking powder too. And also, I add a little more salt. And if you want to, you can add about a tablespoon of sugar. That's just up to you. But so far in the bowl, I have 2 cups of self-rising flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and a clump of shortening. Now that would be about a half a cup of shortening. And I'll show you the procedure. And the reason I have these plastic gloves on this morning is, you know, this is the best kitchen tool you have. So use it, and then this makes for easy cleanup. So we're going to take buttermilk, and it takes about a cup of buttermilk, and you pour it in slowly. And I've made a well in my bowl here, and I've put the shortening in it, and we're going to pour the buttermilk right in the center. Now this is where our kitchen utensil comes in handy. You just basically take from the center and just start squishing that up. Now, if you like to squish things, this is really fun to do. And as you do it, you just keep adding a little more flour to it. You know, my mom, she taught me a lot of things, and she could make really good biscuits. She didn't make them like this, but she made good biscuits. Mom taught me a lot of things in my life, but the best thing she ever taught me is how to die. And you may think that's kind of morbid, but my mom developed dementia later on in life, but she never was cruel or mean to anyone. Clear up till her dying day, she was kind and gentle, and that is quite a legacy that she left to me and my siblings, was to always be kind. You know, in my Bible, I've got a saying that says, to grow old free of bitterness is one of the best legacies or gifts we can give to our children. And I totally agree with that. And every time I make biscuits, I always think of Mom, because she could make some good ones. Okay, we've used just little over a cup of buttermilk in this, and I will post the recipe on the website too. We got it all stirred up. Now, it's simple so far, right? Okay, we're going to make it even more simple. After you finish mixing it up, you put some flour either on your counter or on a board, and we're going to plop this mix on here. I kind of wipe my fingers off a little bit, and then put some flour over it. You know, the thing about this self-rising flour, it's kind of hard to get too much flour in it as long as you have liquid to match it. So we're just going to work it a little bit here and get all this good stuff. Then we're going to pat it out till it's smooth. And at this point, I'm ready to take the cover off of my utensils. And this is what's great about these. It's easy, easy cleanup. So we're going to continue to pat our biscuit dough out. Get our skillet ready. This is a good old iron skillet. This was my mom's skillet. Now, this is something that my aunt taught me. Let me get some butter over here. You take half of the dough and you spread it with butter. And what that does is when it's time to open up the biscuit, it will just open really nice too. Okay, after we put butter on half of it, we fold it in two and just smooth it out. Kind of have fun, get rid of all your frustrations. And then we cut them out. This is a biscuit cutter. You can use a can, you can use a glass, doesn't matter what you use. And I have prepared the skillet with, I rubbed some shortening in it. Now the reason I use shortening today in these biscuits is because I know most people will use those. My choice is really to use butter in them. Okay, now I've got some more dough that I'll work up, but this basically gives you the idea, and I like to brush the top of them with butter before I put them in the oven, and I put them in a 450-degree oven, and it just takes about 12 to 15 minutes to bake, and they're really, really good. Today we put some homemade butter on it and some homemade blackberry jelly that we made a few weeks ago. So, I hope you'll try these biscuits because you can make biscuits. And by the way, if you've never taken a cold biscuit and toasted it in the toaster and put some butter and jam on it, you need to try that because they're really, really good. I hope you have a good day and thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.